On 31st of December 2019, the World Health Organization WHO China office heard the first reports of a previously unknown virus behind several pneumonia cases in Wuhan, a city in eastern China with a population of 11 million people. It appears to be originated from seafood market where wild animals including marmots, birds, rabbits, bats and snakes are traded illegally in Wuhan. The source of the animal is still unknown, but a team of virologists at the Wuhan Institute of Virology released a paper shows that coronavirus most probably coming from the bats. So, how it all started in Malaysia? The COVID-19 pandemic in Malaysia is part of the ongoing worldwide pandemic of coronavirus disease 2019 caused by severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus. The virus was confirmed to have reached in Malaysia in January 2020 when it was travelers from China arriving via Singapore on January 25th. Following the outbreak of COVID-19 in Hubei, China, reported cases remain relatively low and very largely confined to imported cases until localized clusters began to emerge in March. Within few weeks, Malaysia has recorded the largest cumulative number of confirmed cases of COVID-19 infection in Southeast Asia, reaching the 2,000 active cases marked by the end of the March. From fewer than 30 cases at the beginning of the month, by 16th of March, the virus was reported in every state and federal territory in the country. The Malaysian Prime Minister enforced a movement control order on 18th of March 2020 as a mitigation of effort to reduce community spread and overburden of the country health system. This MCO is similar to the lockdown in China and Italy. And the non-essential activity outside of home is restricted. In Malaysia, a country of 31 million people, over 18,000 have been infected with COVID-19 and more than 100 fatalities have been reported. The number of positive cases in Malaysia rose from 99 on March 8 to a whopping 200 people in less than a week. Despite a massive outbreak resulting from religious gathering early March with a nationwide lockdown subsequently enforced by authorities, Malaysia has successfully brought the daily new cases down. As for the research objectives, our group have highlighted two objectives for it. The first objective is to study the execution of Malaysian policy by Malaysian Government and their approaches in fighting pandemic COVID-19. And the second one is to investigate the key factors that contributed to the success in fighting pandemic COVID-19 in Malaysia. A qualitative research method has been done for this group project. We have contacted 6 lecturers, but unfortunately, only one of them was available for interview. The name of the lecturer is Dr. Iskandar bin Zulkarnain. So, to eliminate this limitation, we interviewed 2 more students. One of them is Nail Karimov, and the second one is Tiong. Both of them are from University Technology Petronas. So the reason we choose Dr. Iskandar and 2 more students from the university is to see 2 different perspectives. The perspective from the person who stayed in UTP campus during the MCO period, and the second one is the perspective from the person who stayed at home. So other than the interview, we surveyed UTP students to see their point of view about the idea of key contributors in fighting COVID-19 in Malaysia. However, there was a limitation again, as all of the students were from UTP. So we couldn't see the perspective of other people from different parts of Malaysia. To elaborate on our objectives, we did internet research as well.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Mahmoud Khaled. So in this video I'm going to talk about the movement control order and how Malaysia succeeded in applying this movement control order in stages. So I'm going to explain these stages. First, it started with the enhanced movement control order. In 27 March, there was a lot of stricted orders that if there is one infected in a location, all the residents should be subjected to a COVID-19 test, and this area is restricted for 14 days. Okay, and then Malaysia took it to another level to ban any mass gatherings like the sports and the religious activities, any religious activities. So after this one, it got really bad also because there was the first wave appeared. So semi-enhanced movement control order was established. So it comes under a semi-enhanced movement control order. A soldier and police put up barbed wire fences to road exits. Like they actually control the states and control the movement of the citizens from state to other one, so that it doesn't help in the spread of the COVID-19. So they actually did a lot of roadblocks and a lot of restrictions. There was only 2 persons allowed maximum and should be from the same household. And a lot of questions was asked: where are you going? Why? And when are you coming back? So after these stages, alhamdulillah, it's settled the COVID-19, and then it became to be relaxed a little, the relaxation of restrictions. So in this phase, 4 people were allowed in the car, not only 2, and the Malaysians were able to go out from a state to another one. They were not be able to go out from the state, even from the country. The borders were closed, all of it. So after this stage of the relaxation of the restrictions, it came to the conditional movement control order. Okay, so it came like one of the rules was the funeral gatherings. It has been more relaxed, so it should not exceed 20 people. And the public transportation, only half of the capacity is allowed. So after this stage, it came the recovery of movement control order, and this is the last stage of the movement control order. It was on 7 June. So the most areas, certain religious activities at mosque are allowed again, but with some restricted rules. They should get their sajjada. They should come with the masks, and even they not everyone is allowed. Some of them are even invited, or they have to register before it. And the temperature check is restrictly followed. So that's it for the movement control order, and thank you.
Hello, my name is Ali, and today I want to talk about the overall effects of COVID-19 in Malaysia. So let's start with the economy first. The National Bank of Malaysia has announced that this COVID-19 outbreak will affect the economic growth of Malaysia during quarter 1, 2, 3 in 2020. The bank has also announced that the state reverse ratio by 100 basis to 2% in March 2020. They also claimed that 30 billion ringgit has been released into banking system. The World Bank cut the GDP growth rate of Malaysia from 4.5% to 0.1% in 2020. All the small and medium enterprises announced that they will have zero cash flow for next 3 months because of the COVID-19 pandemic. It also affected education system. In March 2020, the Prime Minister announced that all extracurricular school activities has been postponed from March until further notice. On 15 April, the Education Prime Minister Mahmoud Khaled announced that UPSR and PT3 examinations for schools has been postponed in light of the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as they cancelled the SPM and STPM exams and they postponed them to 2021. On 23rd June, the Minister of Education announced that there will be change in sem breaks in order to help better students plan, which was disrupted by the COVID-19 and moved control order. So, in Group A states, Johor, Kedah, Kelantan and Terengganu, they reduced the end of year sem break from 42 days to 14 days. And in Group B states, which is the Melaka, Negri Sembilan, Pahang, they reduced from 41 days to 13 days. For essential supplies, before the movement control order starts, in supermarkets across whole country, there was a panic buying, the wear mask out of stock, and in response, the Prime Minister announced that daily essential supply of food, wear mask stock, and all other stuff will be monitored by the Domestic Trade and Consumers Affairs of Malaysia during lockdown. In overall, the travel and tourism sector will be most affected sector in Malaysia economy because of the COVID-19 pandemic, apart from oil and gas and the export-oriented industries. And the country's fiscal deficit is expected to increase only 4% according to government officials. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Elnur, and today I'm gonna talk about discussion and conclusion part. So let's move on. So with our interview with Dr. Iskandar, we found out that most of the people think also the same way as Dr. Iskandar, who studying UTP. So the thing is, they think that the people's trust in the government and the efficiency of government is among the main key factors which contributed to the success of Malaysia. They also think that people collaboration is an important part, and without this collaboration, today Malaysia would have much more casualties than it is now. With our interview with Seong from South Sudan, he said that he didn't want firstly to stay in UTP or Malaysia. He wanted to go back to his own country. However, because he couldn't go back, right now he's so happy because the number of cases in his own country is very much, and Malaysia is much more safer for him now, and he's so glad that he stayed in Malaysia. When you ask do you have any relatives or family members who got coronavirus, and he said that fortunately no, but in his own country he knows a lot of people who got coronavirus who were his acquaintances. So when it came to the main question, we asked him, what do you think is the main reason which helped to fight coronavirus COVID-19 in Malaysia. And he said that first of all, government's fast decision and strict decision helped this success. So when he said that when he looked in Europe or other countries, mostly they choose economy over the health. So they could keep their money, and when it comes to Malaysia choose health over the economy. Also, it affected the economy a lot, but it helped to decrease the risk, and the economy is increased day by day in Malaysia already. However, this is not the only reason, he said. There is another reason, which is people's collaboration. So what he said that when he looks at the news in Spain, America, Italy or other countries, he saw that most of the people don't wear masks. They go to public places and they don't care about the COVID-19 so much. They feel like they are not afraid. However, this is for bad of the community. However, when he stayed in UTP, he saw how strict the people is. He went to the Tesco and saw that how people strictly follow the rules of MCO, and he really liked it, and now he thinks that this is the key factor which contributed to the success of Malaysia. And in our survey with other people as well, we found out similar results. So as a conclusion, we found out that we came to a decision that first of all, Malaysians policies by the Malaysian government, the MCO and others, was very successful and very good implemented. And secondly, investigating the key factor which contributed to the factor of success of Malaysia was people's responsibility, good healthcare facilities, brave frontliners, and the facts that I stated above. Without these two pillars, it would be impossible for Malaysia to be successful. Thank you.